Okay, so let's talk about a lot of things. I've got a lot to cover. Okay, first I want to do a riff, but let me see how far we can go. Antidepressants. Okay, I'll pretend I'm not having a beer. I didn't say anything in the tweet that got my job canceled. I was on antidepressants. Happy Women's History Month. Who said that? Who? Roseanne. Not Rosie O'Donnell. Roseanne. Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland. They're apples and oranges. But let's go there. All right. So I'm not famous. You guys, okay? I was one of the first. It's a sex toy. All right. I'm only doing this for you. Anyway, so I was one of the first people to impersonate Trump before anybody else, before he was in politics. But because I'm not famous, oh, hey, how are you? So, but my favorite thing that he said that was wacko, okay, two things. First, I was in 5th grade, the first time I saw him on like an A&E biography. And he goes, I had some good teachers, and I had some bad teachers, and I told them that. And I was in 5th grade, and I thought, like, who the hell tells their teachers that? Okay, but then fast forward, we're only going to talk about him for a New York minute. It's not politics, I promise. But like, anyway, my favorite thing that he did, speaking of Rosie, was before 2010, he was like, yeah, if I ran with you, oh, this was in Rosie did the impersonation of him and all hell broke loose. And he goes, yeah, if I was and I ran with you, what I would have done was called Rosie into my office, looked her in her big ugly face, and said, Rosie, you're fired. Okay, so anyway, we're sick of seeing Trump by now on TV, but those are famous people doing it. So this is a good segue into sexual harassment. Let's talk about euphemisms. I didn't need to look at you when I said sexual harassment. I didn't do that. Euphemisms. Okay, as I'm older, I'm learning that certain people say codes for things they won't really say. Okay, so I've been working my whole life to like break into opportunities in show business, right? And if you get that over everybody else and then you quit, that doesn't make any sense to me. So there were all these like high up people on like TV shows, no offense, Happy Women's History Month, they were all females, right? And they were like, yes, I got this really high up job on TV and I'm gonna leave to spend some time with my family. Yeah, I'm leaving to spend some time with my family. I'm doing that. I'm spending time with my family. Then other people were doing it. Then we found out like 2 years later, like the head of the network was sexually harassing like all of these women. And instead of them saying something about it, they left to spend time with their family. Like, you need to say when somebody's doing something crazy. Also, speaking of something crazy, that's what fresh start means. When people tell you, yeah, I got a job, I needed a fresh start. Yeah, they were doing some crazy ish, or they had to leave. Persona non grata. So yeah, okay, I only have a New York minute up here. You know, I'm gonna give my little time back to my room, the room. I'm gonna spend some time with my family. I'm gonna make a fresh start.